On this episode of Teachers Off Duty, we'll be talking about things we wish all non-teachers knew about our profession. We'll be talking lunch breaks, summers off, and that infamous teacher bladder.
What's up, wonderful educators out there in educational world? How you doing? Welcome to the
So silly.
It's the Teachers Off Duty podcast. I just feel like you gotta address it with respect. You know,
You're doing
I'm
great.
laughing at you, not at
doing
them.
a great job.
No, it's not
Y'all don't know what he said, what he just did before the camera came on.
we
Because
have-
he's funny
We
and
have
be
to
saying
set them
stuff.
up right, man. They deserve this.
Why did you look at me like that and so I can bust out laughing before?
It's because I'm happy
We love y'all.
that my sisters / teacher homies are with me on this month, man. Y'all already know it's your man KC Mack with the very special bow
Liz Blanc.
and the very special bow bow.
Honest Teacher Vibes.
Honest Teacher Vibes. That's right, man. We've
I
been
do my
here.
hands. You look like you conducted a staff meeting. Okay, guys. So today, the PowerPoint presentation, we're going to table the discussion right now. We're going
I ain't
to
want to do
circle
all them
back.
cues and all them.
Table and circle back.
Let's get on my nerves. But nah, man, we here again, man. We have been kicking it, man.
I'm back again.
2 great episodes, but if you guys have not tuned in, we drop it every Sunday. That's right. A lot of people listen to it on Sunday. A lot of people listen to it on Monday, Tuesday, because some, they kind of save it.
Any day.
Yeah. So I wonder if anybody chunks it, like listens to half of it, gets a little piece of it on Sunday, then Monday, just so it can get them through the whole week.
I've heard
Just
teachers
stretch 'em
say they
out.
listen to it during their planning period.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've heard a lot
that's
of teachers
pretty
say they
cool.
listen to it during planning. Our planning period's like 10 minutes long, so I know they have to do it in segments.
Right.
Take them a week and a half to listen to a whole episode.
There's some people that have been chunking it for so long they don't
gotta
even know
chunk
that
it.
this part is even happening. Like
Yeah, they gotta
They're
chunk
still
it.
listening to all you guys. Ooh, these new episodes are great.
Got episodes in the can. Planning period be super short.
Well,
I bet
no-
there's some people that chunk it though.
Yeah, you have to.
Especially if you have a long
sure.
drive.
Yeah, stretch it
Oh,
out.
yeah. Good for
We
the
try to be
commute.
we try to be entertaining.
It's like, you don't want to binge. Like, some people like to binge it to get it all out the way. But then some people like to make it, savor it and
Yeah.
make it,
We got some loyal people though that like as soon as it drops on Sunday they listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
Like they ain't waiting
They be on it.
on it.
But it's real cool, man, what the podcast is doing, man, and how it's evolving and incorporating a lot of the teacher comedians now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens every month. We bringing on 2 new teacher comedians, man, and just kind of mixing it around. And
Casey, don't look at me anymore,
I
bro.
have to look at you.
Yeah. What was the neck hop? You remember our grandparents? They used to a little neck hop.
Or I feel what I'm doing. I feel like Showbiz Pizza or Chuck E. Cheese.
Silly.
It's like, why you shaking your head like that?
But no, man, this is what I love about the podcast is we pretty much do what we do on tour, like in the back in the green rooms or on the van. We just talk,
Just kick it.
teacher
Act a
stuff.
fool.
Hey, and you would think that. I mean, sometimes we talk about stuff that happens like in our personal homes and like our lives and kids and family and things, but the majority of it we talking about teacher things.
All the time.
That's so crazy. Like,
Because I need an
it's-
outlet. I got to talk about it. Y'all my
Yeah.
therapy.
It becomes such a part of your identity, truly.
True that. True
Yes.
that.
But it's just, it's just so cool because I think it's real cool because you just connecting with people who get it. Like, we've never taught at the same school before,
But we get it,
grade
yeah.
level, but we still can connect and get it. And I think that's what makes these conversations real, magical. So,
Would you ever teach kindergarten?
No.
What was the
Camera, this look on Liz's face. Just keep.
Why'd you say no sideways? No. You brought the no from. You brought it around.
Absolutely
no.
not. And the biggest props to anyone who can
Biggest
teach
props.
lower elementary. Like,
Biggest props.
Dude, I have to bribe Peyton's kindergarten teacher all the time.
I
Biggest
can't
props.
imagine
They little pee shoelaces.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Do people outside of education understand that kindergarten teachers are teaching people to read from scratch?
A special power to do kindergarten.
That was random, but I really wanted to know. I was like, I wonder if Casey will teach kindergarten.
That's a great question. You stirred up some very deep emotion.
And Liz.
Yeah, Liz was just
Stone cold
Energy,
face.
skill, patience.
Patience of a saint.
A stomach of steel.
Man. Because the throw up and the boogers.
Yes.
Somebody said, imagine running around with your friends and like somebody throws up and your teeth are falling out. They're
Lord.
that's elementary school.
That is, yeah.
Anyway, that's
really
not
good.
that's not a topic for today.
no.
I just wondered.
No, it technically is a topic because I'm a super master of segueing it in, and we
Right.
tie it in because
Are you though?
Watch this episode is titled "Things That We Wish All Non-Teachers Knew." Now, because we are familiar with K teachers, that's how we was able to gravitate, sympathize, be like, "Oh man."
Casey, you're mansplaining.
No, listen, but there's a lot of people who are non-teachers that honestly probably think it would be easy to teach kindergarten because they
No.
don't know.
No.
See there? See what I did there?
Somebody was like, it's just ABCs 1, 2, 3s. First of all, no, it is not.
See?
It is so much.
See?
Because Peyton's kindergarten homework is hard.
You
It's
see what I'm talking
not
about?
ABCs 1, 2, 3.
We understood it because we could get it. There's
Facts.
a lot of non-teachers out there
True.
who do not know what they're talking about. And that's what this episode is about. There's a lot of misconceptions about being an educator. Listen, people. Listen.
Not to listen, people.
My
Finna drop some
teacher
truth.
friends. Let's do some friends.
Gotta wrap.
Let's do some teacher friends who's listening, who's watching. Make sure you share this video or share this podcast with non-teachers, okay? Anybody that's ever gotten on your nerves, email them, text them, send a transcript, whatever you can. Send them this because this podcast is for them because they don't know what the hell they be talking about.
Email
Send it.
blast this to your parent list.
Yes.
Send
Real
it to
talk.
your board members.
The amount of things that people don't know. Like, some of the stuff that we say about what goes on in schools, people do not believe us. I'm like, hey, yo, this is real life.
People comment on my videos all the time, like, she's lying, she made that up. I'll take things that never happened for 500. And then teachers will chime in and they're like, no, this is 100% what teaching high school is like.
Right.
And why would we make up stories like
Right.
that? Like,
No.
first of all, I live the trauma. I'm not going to make it up.
Exactly.
I'm going to turn it into a joke.
But to
it's
make
real.
myself feel better.
Right.
We're all laughing at our shared trauma.
Right.
But there are but also in a sense, okay, I will say I can sympathize because the only time that some of these people have been in schools is when they were a kid.
Right.
So I wish that we would get the benefit of the doubt first, but I know that we don't. And so on a small scale, very small, like my teacher salary, very small. On a small scale, I can understand the reactions that people have because they literally the only time they were in a classroom was when they were a student.
Right.
But at the same time, can we get a little bit of common decency, man? Like the number one thing that irritates me as a teacher is that people think we get paid for over the summer.
Oh.
It drives me insane. I'm
Right.
like, listen, I literally don't do math, but we get paid for 180 days.
Right.
Right.
We do not get paid for the time that we don't work. So
Yep.
we spread our paycheck out over 12 months.
Exactly.
The amount of times that we have had to explain that to people and then them saying like, oh, well, you shouldn't complain because you get summers off. Like ugh.
Well, and not every school district even pays throughout the summer. It's
True,
your
they
it's
won't
your
give the
job
option to
Right.
spread it
to
out.
have a savings account and to save X amount of dollars from each paycheck or pick up a summer job, whatever your preference
Yeah.
is. I taught at a school where for the first few years of teaching there, we got 20 paychecks throughout the school year. And then your summer, you didn't get any paycheck. So you'd either have to put it in savings or some kind of account, or you could, if you spent all of your paycheck, which unfortunately I often did as a
Yeah.
young teacher. I worked at a sports bar. I worked at a sports bar my first 7 years of teaching.
Yeah. And it's a lot of teachers that have second jobs. Like one of the teachers at my school, when they leave school, they go to work from like 5 to 10.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you sleep? Like, how do you?
Right.
I
But that's just a part of it. Like, you don't realize like you have to double up.
yeah.
Like that which goes back to the silliness of we get paid over the summers and all
Yeah.
that. No, it's still the same money.
Yeah.
Or we getting summers off. Like everything you just said. Don't they listen, people?
Casey says, listen, people.
Saying that teachers get the summers off is equivalent to when your cell phone dies. Okay? Dies.
Dead.
And you have to plug that cell phone up. You cannot use that cell phone until it recharges back up.
Yes.
No matter what you do, how fast you plug it up, even if you got the big block charger, you have to wait
Not the big black charger.
a little bit so it can recharge.
Yeah.
That is teachers in the summertime.
Yeah.
We died.
Casey, especially
Put
teacher.
a charger in our back.
Oh my gosh.
Let us redo those little, 14 weeks? What do we get?
14.
It's about 14 weeks. What is it?
Summer?
You get 14 weeks in the summer?
Mid-June to mid-August.
What is that? How many weeks?
Like 8 to 9 weeks.
8 to 9 weeks.
I was like, 14? What magical land do you live in?
Because I was thinking about the times when people get out early, that month earlier than some schools, but then some
I mean,
have
if you
it's
include
8 weeks. It's 8
holidays,
weeks.
but I was always grading and doing lesson planning over holidays.
Right. It's about 8 weeks. It's
Well,
about that 8 weeks.
if you're a teacher and a mom or dad, what summer break?
Right.
Because these kids don't
Right.
use their school stomach. I'm like, you eating me out of house and
Right.
home. Use your school stomach. And like so you got teachers that are working second jobs. You got teachers that are at home with their kids all summer. And so I'm like, yes, technically we do get the summer off. But I still think that people have a gross misconception of, they're like, you get all these breaks off. You get spring break. You get fall break. First of all, our fall break was one day. So disrespectful. Like, why is it one day? You get fall break. You get spring break. You get Christmas break. You get Thanksgiving break. Like, I don't think y'all understand what we do during the school year. And we're like crawling to that break.
Right.
Crawling.
Right.
Cell phone died. We need to get plugged up. It's just recharging,
It's
man.
a good-
Everybody
yeah.
needs the process. Like, I don't get, like, even with people who are non-teachers, I'm pretty sure that you have moments at
Where
your
you
job where
recharge,
you
yeah.
just need to unplug.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, we're humans. That's
Yeah.
what's going to happen. But imagine doing a profession that's so demanding, that's so overwhelming. You're dealing with so many different personalities,
Right.
so many all that trauma you're talking about. Imagine absorbing all that trauma every day from different
Right.
individuals in your classroom that you have to service.
Right.
And you mean to tell me a weekend is not enough time to eat? Because we don't
probably
have
lesson
weekends.
planning, yeah.
Right. We don't have weekends to relax and unplug.
Yeah.
So these breaks that y'all call, or the summer breaks, we need those.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not, and it's nothing that is given to us. We earn that.
Well, and even if you need the sick day, even if you're very ill, it's much more work
To take off
And
than it is to.
stressful. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're returning to, right? Did your students learn anything? Did they cover anything? Were there fights?
Yeah.
Were there other activities going on?
Yeah. The thing that, like, I think teachers want non-teachers to know, the perspective that we, like, complain too much about our jobs, like, everybody complains about their
Everybody
job.
complains.
Why is it that, like, I'm like, I'm not a nun. Like, I'm going to
Right.
complain, like, and nuns
Right.
complain. Like, why is it that teachers, like, we get crucified for complaining about our jobs?
Right.
Here's my take on the whole complaining thing. I think we only complain in the sense of, I'm gonna use that word very, loosely, but we complain because I think the things that we have the biggest problems with has a solution.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to express, you know what I'm saying, our frustration with the fact that this could be easily fixed
Right.
if
Right.
Right.
A or B or C happens.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest. If teacher complaints were listened to, the education system would be fantastic.
It'll be a lot better than it is. It'll be a lot better than it is. So
Exactly.
I just feel like I wish people had more grace for us when we complain about our jobs.
Yes.
Because somebody, and you know how, like, you have family members that'll say stuff to you, and you just know, like, at Thanksgiving when you got that auntie that's like, well, I don't know, teachers, y'all always complain about y'all job. Everybody's job is hard.
Yeah.
And you just want to bop them on the chin, and you're like, I ain't gonna do that. It's gonna start a whole family brawl. But at the same time, like, it's like sometimes people don't even empathize with us. Like, they don't sympathize and they don't empathize at all with what we deal with as teachers. And, like, nobody's saying that, like, all I'm saying is, if everybody else is allowed to complain about their job, why is it so frowned upon for teachers? Like, somebody that's not a teacher, please tell me in the comments. Like, I really would like to know, because
Right.
why do we get all the smoke
Right.
when we complain about the stuff that we're dealing with?
Well, it's so interesting because my whole family teachers. Mom, dad, sister, aunt, and uncle who we
gosh.
see regularly. So Thanksgiving was all teachers.
Yeah.
My uncle went into administration, but that's,
Traitor!
was later on. He was a wonderful
could
teacher for
never.
many years. And also my brother-in-law who married in is a teacher.
Oh, gosh.
Like when I say on stage, my sister married the teacher across the hall, that is, she literally did.
Dang, so your whole family combined make a total salary of $87,000.
No.
That is accurate math. That is accurate
What
math.
you about to say?
But it's so interesting because my sister and I will complain about the things we deal with in school, and my mom will be like, "What?" Like,
Is your mom a teacher though?
she's a retired teacher now.
Oh, okay.
But she taught for over 30 years, and she would be like, "I could
Yeah.
never imagine such behaviors." And then my aunt and
Yeah.
uncle as well. They're like, "Oh my gosh, like things are just
It's
so
insane.
different now." So even teachers who were teaching 15 years ago when I
Yeah.
started,
Things have
this
drastically
is a
changed.
completely different
Right.
experience.
And it touches with this though, but here's the cool part. I know I can speak on our behalf and even yours for a second. So it's like, because there was a moment in time where we were not actually teaching. Like right now, this has been my first year off, and I don't shy away from telling anybody that, because it's like, I don't care, even though I've been off just this one little semester, and it's gonna fall over to the next semester, but I do not feel like I'm not teaching. Understand that. I know it's like, how can you say that? You're not. Listen,
The years put in.
I'm around educators every day. Still, I'm still having these same conversations where I'm having trauma still put up on me. Still, right? And I'm still trying to put myself in a situation where I'm in front of educators, making them laugh because I get how bad this is.
Yeah.
So for me, I even though I left the classroom right now, but I still am in education because I'm trying to service educators now.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So it's but only a job like this. Understand this? Only a job like this. Any other profession, again, and I haven't worked all the professions, so I never like to say, this is a blanket statement. But I'm pretty sure if you leave Amazon, you left Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know. I can only guess. But there's no really such thing as really leaving this profession, because I feel like the fact that we even signed up to do this, it takes a special kind of individual, and it's somebody that's not just doing it for the paycheck.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
It's nobody that's doing it for the fun and the thrills.
Right.
Hello. So it takes a very special kind of person that even signed up to be this
Right.
kind of position. So therefore, when we do leave, if that's or some people, how they don't leave education, let's just say they just move to a different department. Now I'm a coach, or now I'm an admin, or now I'm doing compliance or whatever.
Right,
but
right.
we're still in that same realm. We still feel it the same.
Yeah.
We still feel
And
it.
I mean, I know people think that I'm like crazy for going back to teaching, but it just is who I am. Like I like being a teacher. I don't like some of the stuff that we have to deal with, but again, I have amazing admin at my school. Like the principals that I have at my school, I have never had principals like this before. They are absolutely fantastic. And obviously, like, no school is perfect, but even with situations that arise, like, I feel like they always listen to me and that my concerns are like validated. And if I'm like dealing with something with a student, I feel like not only do they validate me, but they also speak to the student, like, and not in like a condescending way. Or there's a lot of like teaching that goes on at my school, not just us as teachers teaching to the kids, but there's a lot of like interpersonal relationships, or like teaching like life skills to the kids and to the teachers, like when there is something that needs to be corrected or when you have a problem. I feel like my school does a good job at problem solving. But at the same time, I know that there are a lot of people that are like, why would you ever go back to teaching it? Honestly, again, like, I just like it. Like, I like the kids, and I'm coaching this year. Like, I like the structure, and also my daughter's in school. So I like being able to be a teacher. Some of the stuff that we deal with, I wish that there were better solutions,
Okay.
for
It is
like
you.
teachers across the board.
Like, it is you. And
It's
I think
who I am.
the administrative support
Makes a huge
is
difference.
truly such a game changer,
Yeah,
and
it
can
is.
make or break your career.
It can.
Because I feel like there are so many moving plates, there are so many forces that you need to work in sync
Right.
to help a child be successful. it's so nice to not be working against one more force.
Right.
Right.
Did y'all ever feel like when you were in school that your teacher lived at school? Like if you saw your teacher out in the grocery store or something, you're like, you eat food? Like
What are you doing
go
here?
out with people? Like one time I was like, yeah, I was hanging out with my friends this weekend, and my students were like, you got friends? Like, shut up. But it's like it humanizes your teacher. But you see them like out and some of them I chase them around the grocery store. I'm like, that's your mom? Come, hey ma'am, can I talk to you? And they take off running. But I used to think my teachers lived at school.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to circle back real quick. When you talked about that's an admin term. Let's circle back.
Let's take with this. Circle
when
back.
you talked about how you said a lot of people might think you was crazy for going back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's one of the biggest things we wish all non-teachers knew. Every teacher does not hate teaching.
Yes.
Understand that.
Yeah.
Most love the
I-
art
I
and
love being an
fact
English
of
teacher.
teaching.
I love being
Understand
an
that.
English teacher.
That's important. I
love being an
love
English teacher.
education too. I love it.
I love being an English teacher.
Right. So don't think we just always just sitting around complaining and about our job. We love this.
I love what I do.
We was called to do it. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I just had to put that in there.
It's
So
okay.
you're not
Put
crazy.
That out. Put that
you're
out there.
not crazy.
Thank you. Casey always validates
You're
me.
not crazy.
KC Mack validated me.
They crazy. Not you.
The crazies on top of the crazies. I don't know where they get it, but I started working there in January. I've never had to cover a class.
Do you have
It
no
is-
felonies? Get in here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've never had to cover. My old school, we always had to cover class. Now, my new school is smaller, but I don't ever have to cover a class. Like, my plan, if I have either I have a meeting during planning or like a data meeting or a meeting with a parent or something like that, but most of the time I get my plan. Now it's like 25, 30 minutes. So it's a really short planning, but I mean, I don't have to. It takes the mental stress off of me that I know I'm not gonna get a text or an email that says, can you come cover a class? And some people get paid to cover classes, and they don't do that in Mississippi.
I have a confession.
What?
I lived to cover classes
you
my entire
serious?
career. Yes, because
you
that
got
money
paid?
that money would all build up and it would be in my next paycheck and it was wonderful.
No, but why
The
did you like
fact that
doing
people
it?
get-
What,
I will.
what was your biggest thing? You said the money? What was
Oh yeah, I'd have a little surprise in my paycheck.
Not a little
I'd be like, that's a pair of Nikes I
cannot-
just made covering classes this week.
That's like going through your laundry and finding that $5 bill.
Hey.
Hello, Merry Christmas to me.
Was it worth it? Probably not, because I'd be grading till 4:30 anyway. But
It is just so wild to me that I felt so robbed when I found out that some school districts, they pay you to cover classes.
It's in our
Oh, yeah, we
contract.
get paid.
Is
yeah.
it because
It's
you're like a
$30,
union
I think
state
it
or
is.
something like 30?
I think it was like $35 a class. And it might be more than that. I
Is
gotta
it
make
because
sure.
some states have a teacher union and some states don't? Because I know
We had a
Mississippi.
very big, strong union.
Yeah, I think Mississippi. We don't have a teachers union in Mississippi.
Oh,
so I think
that's unfortunate.
maybe the teachers union. I think if you say
That's
union, they'll
unfortunate.
fire you. So
Oh.
I hope they're not watching this.
You can't even go to the credit union.
Casey. But yeah, when I found that out, I was like, no, y'all don't. And it was like,
Yeah.
yes, we do. I'm like, you mean to tell me? I felt hoodwinked, bamboozled. They running a sham.
Yeah, no, we definitely got paid. On
Yeah.
You got paid too?
that. Yeah, we definitely got paid.
You know what?
But still, nobody liked to do it though, because I mean, like again, I think it might have been $35, $40, whatever it was. At most, I want to say 50. I can't remember, but I might be putting a little extra on it. But I know it was anywhere.
It sounded like you put, based off our teacher
Yeah.
salary, it sounded like you put a little extra.
It was
on
somewhere around there. But either way it goes, 50, 30, 35, it wasn't enough for me. That wasn't enough. Because I'm like, this whole hour I could be watching Netflix somewhere and chilling out.
Catching up on my show.
Right.
It
That's
was
not
plenty
worth
for
it.
me. I will sit with your kids anytime.
She's in LA. They need all the money they
I
can get.
cannot. Dude, during my planning, I turn the light out.
Rent is $14,000 a month. She needs all the money she
it's
can get.
expensive
I live
to
in a
live there.
studio. I'm trying to get out.
It's expensive to live there. Now, during my planning, I go in my room and I close the door, put my little thing over the door, because first of all, it's some teachers that they can't read the room, and so they know that you need your planning period, and they'll come stand there and talk to you for 20 minutes. Hey man,
yeah.
and I
That's
don't
a tough
know,
one.
like I never want to be rude and be like, yo, I gotta go. Like you can't just walk away and you can't figure out how to
Right.
like interject and be like, hey. Like, this is taking up my entire planning period. Like, I gotta go. And it's not a teacher you're friends with.
Right, right.
I'm not friends with you. You're taking up my whole planning
Right.
period. I'm about to
You
do
know,
it.
you know what you start doing when those conversations begin to run long? Slowly but surely, start rocking back and forth. Make it look gradual. like your pee-pee dance is emerging.
That is a good idea.
And then when it comes to the point where you can't take it away, we're like, hey, listen, Mr. Collins, I gotta go. Gotta go pee.
I'm about to pee my pants. Do you want me to pee my pants? That's a good idea. I'm gonna start doing that.
Slow. You gotta make it real. You just can't spring it on them all of a sudden like, ooh, I gotta go pee.
You gotta,
man, you faking.
You
but
lying.
if you slowly do it, it's like a build up. It's acting class.
There was a woman I worked with who was fabulous and wonderful, but she would take up your whole prep and she would get you in the hallway. Like you could
running from them teachers.
You could close your door and cover the door window and hide in your room. Yeah. But if she got you in the hallway, it was over. And a principal friend of mine who I didn't work for or anything, just a friend I knew, said always carry a folder or something with you and walk fast in the hallway and look like you're stressed. Ooh. So that's what I did. I'd carry just an empty manila folder with me and I'd be like, gotta go.
Dude, I'd be running from them people because I'm like, yo, I got to go. We ain't got that much time. Like, you just took 15 minutes of my time. And it's like the social etiquette of it. Like, you don't want to be rude and be like, yo, please stop talking to me. Or like, you can't keep walking. Like that woman that was stopping in the hallway, you can't just keep walking when you know they didn't say it. Like, hey, da-da-da-da. But at the same time, I'm like, I didn't hear you. I'm just gonna we gonna pretend like I didn't hear you today because I don't got that kind of time on my hands.
Yeah,
I gotta pee, eat lunch, make copies, and fix the projector bulb at the same time in 15 minutes. Like I ain't got that kind of time on my hands. I ain't got that kind of time. Do y'all get to leave work for like when y'all were teaching? Did you get to leave work during your planning period?
I wouldn't leave during my planning, but I would leave during lunch sometimes. Oh, okay. I would go get food sometimes.
Do you have to sit with your kids at lunch? Like, have you ever had to sit with your kids at lunch?
Not at high school, no.
I think middle school was, maybe it's just 6th grade. Well, 6th through 8th grade, we have to sit with our kids at lunch.
Do you have to walk them to lunch and walk them back?
So my kids go from activity to lunch, but I do have to walk them back from lunch. And let me tell you.
Really?
That just cut out 4 or 5 minutes on your lunch break.
I know. That's why I don't. Yeah. It's not a lot of time. Yeah. But yeah, we sit with them at lunch. This is the first year that my new school that I'm at. This is the first time I've had to sit with kids at lunch. My old school, like we put them, they would go to the cafeteria and then there'd be a principal in there or like a principal and some support staff. And then we could sit outside the cafeteria. But this year we got to sit with them.
You're not even getting to decompress during your lunch.
No. I try to decompress like during planning, but it's such a short amount of time that you feel like you're running around like the Mad Hatter to get stuff done. So
and if you don't get that stuff done, you're even more stressed.
Yeah. Right. So it's a
and
interesting schedule.
And here's the thing too, alongside what they say, we apparently all teachers get lunch breaks. They think, oh, but you guys get off period, planning periods. Here's the thing.
That's a thing of the past.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Here's the thing. We don't always get that either because if you're on a block schedule, so my school's on a block schedule. So A and B days. So on the A days, I would be like 1, 3, 5, 7 classes you go to. Other one 2, 4, 6, 8. So on the B days, I would have my plan period.
But you teach middle school though.
Right. So it's a block schedule. So on the B days, I'll have a plan period, but I would only get it, depending on what the week was. If it started off as an A day, then that would be an A week. So I know I would get 2 days this week of plan period. Because it's 5 days in a week. 3 of those days are A days. The following week, it would be a B week. So I would get 3 plan periods.
How do you not get a planning though?
Because if my plan period is 4th hour, we only have 4th hour on B days.
The fact that they don't come up with some type of contingency for that,
So we don't get a plan period every day.
Because also this is why we spend so much time like outside of school doing stuff, and like one time I've already said this before on the podcast, but like if you're a first year teacher, it's a learned skill to only work your contracted hours. And the reason that it's a learned skill is because
say that again for the people in the back.
It is a learned skill only working your contracted hours. Because if you're a first year teacher and you haven't veteran teachers, we got lesson plans from years prior, and we may have either learned how to manage our time better, or some veteran teachers was like, I ain't doing it, and I feel that. But there is a lot of my first year teaching. This teacher used to make me feel really bad that I was like doing stuff after school because I'm just like, I don't know when I'm supposed to do it. We don't get a planning because we got to cover classes. So I'm like, so you're a magician, you're a wizard, Harry. Like, when are you doing yours? And so I had to plan like after school, and like my new school that I'm at, this is my first year back teaching English, teaching a state tested subject in 2 years. So I'm having to start all over with like my lesson plans because of, you know, how our lesson plans are at my new school. Obviously next year I'm not going to have to do that, but this year I have to plan outside of school. I don't have a choice. I don't have, you know, and so eventually I will have the lessons done to where I can just pull out my lessons from previous years, but it is literally a learned skill to work your contracted hours.
I think too, I think what helped me, as I went from being new to being a veteran teacher, I really became very skilled at assessment and prioritizing what was important.
Yeah.
So instead of giving like some kind of like reading quiz that I took the time to create myself and did all these things, I was like, oh, wait, I could touch on all this through a meaningful discussion. I can see who kind of knows what.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I can create flexible grouping through that. I can do. So I learned that these less formal types of assessment that were less prep for me actually were much better for my students and created a more flexible classroom environment. But you wouldn't know that till you went through those things.
I love me a good formative assessment. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I love the informal, the exit ticket, little sticky notes to see. Somebody told me to start using dry erase boards because the kids, like if you do a multiple choice question, there's just something about like, oh, I got the right answer on my dry erase board. And it's like, hold up your boards.
Even the high school kids love
that. They
that.
like it, yeah.
And I used to do the four corners of my room, A, B, C, D.
Oh my gosh.
They loved
four corners, it goes down.
Parking lot.
What's parking lot?
My kids were great with parking lot.
What is that?
Even like the 12th graders. I would do one of the giant like chart paper.
Anchor chart, yeah.
And write an idea, a thought, a summary down, and they would put it up there. And then we'd use it to like engage a discussion the next day, or I would just read all of them to see who knew what and what was.
Oh, let me write.
Yeah, parking lot was one of my favorite things to do.
Let me get a little strategy from another.
The worst exit teacher I ever seen a teacher do was raise your hand if you understand.
Oh God.
Good. Okay.
That's the worst exit ticket ever.
Exit ticket, bro.
That ain't gonna fly at all.
See, here's the thing is,
How
who's
did you
going to
check
do
for
that? I'm not
understanding?
going to do that.
Yeah.
Check for understanding. How?
They ain't doing no type of formative assessment. That's just a check. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like I just want to be able to say I did a formative assessment. But I'm gonna have to try the parking lot thing, especially the fact that like seniors like it because they're so chill about everything. They're just like too cool for school. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, they like the little Post-its. I would get like cute multicolored ones or ones that were like animals or
listen. I'm all
funny
about
things.
Some cute anchor charts or some cute posters.
I used to do bumper cars.
What's that?
Okay.
Casey about to say something stupid.
I'm definitely making this up.
It's like, you know, Casey's not about
like,
to say
give me a strategy.
You know, Casey's not about to say anything serious. He's not about.
But there's some teacher out there be like, I know exactly what bumper cars are.
I've utilized bumper cars
Wait,
while
now
teaching.
I want to know. Look, even though I know something, I'm like, what is it?
I don't know. I was about to freestyle something.
You know, I like when you freestyle. The amount of times I've been like, did you just make that up? So you know you're a real comedian. Because I'm like, my stuff don't come off the top of my head like that. What about people saying that we indoctrinate their kids?
I don't have time.
What do they even mean when they're saying that?
Wow.
Like, I would indoctrinate them to wear some deodorant if I could. If I could indoctrinate your kids, I would indoctrinate them to do their work. Like,
right.
A kid, one of these kids like wrote a note to a girl, a juicy love note to this girl, and I'm like, what? So we got 3 or 4 sentences on this paper, baby.
Right.
That means you can write.
Right.
You just chose what you wanted to write. Imagine you writing letters to these little girls up in here, but I asked you to write down 2-sentence summary, and we ain't writing nothing.
Right.
I put the summary on the board. I gave you the answer.
I love the hand.
I
put the summary on the board.
I mean,
I gave you the answer.
I was so astounded because I was like, surely this is not. Oh, that was him that wrote that. I'm calling
At that point, you got to just take it for a grade.
Right. Like,
love letter.
If I could indoctrinate your kids, they'd know they're there and there. You know, like.
Because they're there and they're be tearing up some adults.
Say it again for the people in the back.
If I could indoctrinate your kids, they would know they're there and there. I'm just letting you know.
Hey, because they're there and they'll be taking folks out. Not just kids.
Or 2.
Sometimes I think
Two.
people. I think sometimes people just think up things to be upset about because
our generation is super sensitive. This generation of people like super sensitive, man. They get mad at everything.
My teaching experience, for the most part, has been progressive urban schools. Very friendly toward LGBTQ rights, very open, very accepting.
Right.
I have never once seen anything happen that is even closely related to what people are accusing us of.
I have not either. I mean, and it be some off the wall stuff. I'm like, yo, who is doing this?
Right.
Is it one of them TV teachers? It's a TV teacher.
Maybe.
They seen somebody on TV do that. Because them kids that be in the hallway by themselves on TV and going in classrooms by themselves having secret conversations.
Right.
Where are the teachers?
Right.
This must be a TV teacher that's indoctrinating your kids.
Right. And I did see, I found out that this person's an actor. But on TikTok, there was a person like acting as a teacher and they were saying and doing really outlandish stuff. But then it came out and you could see through their other videos that, oh, this is an actor and they do characters. But it was believable. And I'm like, so are people staging this? Are they posing this?
Right.
Did people hear something and they're just making it up that this is happening everywhere? Because we're not.
I'm like, yo,
We're
don't
not
you feel like, I feel like subbing should be like jury duty or something.
Yes.
I feel like the same way, they do where you got to have jury duty.
Make them
called
do it.
on.
I
So-
really do.
Because
I do
feel like
believe that.
Because I even feel like TikTok has exposed more and given people more of a realistic idea of what we deal with in the classroom.
Right.
Because teacher TikTok is a huge thing. When it first started in 2020 and more teachers started getting on TikTok, it made people who weren't teachers was like, wait, y'all deal with what? Because people were filming in their class, so you knew they were like an actual teacher because they're like in their classroom and they're talking about their experiences. So, in a sense, I do feel like social media made people more sympathetic to what we deal with as teachers. But I still stand on what I said. Because if some of y'all had to deal with y'all kids at school, y'all don't like dealing with y'all kids at home. So,
I don't like dealing
if
with
you
them.
had to deal with 29 more of them at school, it's a wrap. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
You going to jail today.
You going to jail. Ain't going to pass go or collect $200.
If I could indoctrinate your kids, I would indoctrinate them to listen.
Casey, you play too much. You play entirely too much.
Listen. Simply just listen.
Because they ain't. What about the parents that be wanting all the smoke on Facebook? I'm like, these folks get on Facebook posting stuff. I'm like, I never even knew this was a problem.
Wait, what? Wait,
parents that will get on Facebook and trash talk their kid's teacher.
Oh.
And it's like somebody's like, "Did you see what they posted on Facebook?" I'm like, "Bro, no. Like I didn't even know what. No, I didn't see what they posted on Facebook.
No. Why would I go to a parent's Facebook or even want to look?
I don't know. They be wanting all this on social media.
That's a line that I don't even want to see your socials. Honestly, that's not.
They want all the smoke.
And here's the thing, although I do acknowledge. And I'm totally aware that, cyberbullying is real. You know what I'm saying? And then it does happen. It is a real thing.
Right.
Just Mr. Mack will never be cyberbullied.
Oh, ever.
Because I know how to click. Hang my little phone up.
Oh, I do a lot of blocking.
Radio silent. Right. Radio silent.
You can't bully me if I'm not looking.
Yeah. I'm like, you don't have to give people access to you. Like, wow. They said, what about me? Wow, that's crazy. I didn't see it. What about people that the parents that call your phone all hours? We use school status, but they don't even give you a chance to respond. They'll text you at 3:45 when school or 4 or 5 o'clock when school is over, and the next morning 7 a.m. you haven't responded. They're trying to call the principal. I'm like, bruh, you just messaged me. We were out of school when you messaged me. I'm back at school the next morning. I just got here. And they trying to call admin. I'm like, you didn't give me a chance to respond.
Right.
Do you respond to your boss outside of work hours? Do you respond to people outside of work hours? No.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I rarely had a parent try to contact me by phone. It was always email. And I got to the point where I would just have an out of office status up. So hours that I was not in school, out of office.
And it's just this boom, out of office.
And it was fine. I never got a negative response from anyone. In fact, I think if anything, you're informing them, hi, I'm not available.
Yeah.
I'll
be back.
This is urgent. I'll get to it when I'm able.
Right.
And it kind of almost settles things in a way.
Right.
So for me, it's not the teacher that's always trying to think they're going to demand and get your attention and try to get in touch with you because you're the one all of a sudden that you can't be reached. Mm-hmm. But it's the teacher, it's the parents who you're trying to reach.
They will not.
And you can't get, they don't respond to
gave me the number
emails.
to
They don't respond to phone calls, none of that. But they'll show up to the school ready to raise hell over a cell phone.
Yeah.
So I found a little trick. Anytime I need to talk to you, I'm just going to take your son's cell phone.
Okay, call you on your kid's phone. Hey, get your phone out. You got permission to get your phone. Call your mom.
No, I just take the phone because I know she got to show up.
Casey.
Where's my son's cell phone? Right here. And I'm here. Here it is.
I've
Now,
been trying
I want
to
to
get in
talk to you
touch
about
with
your
you.
son.
I've been trying to reach you about your
Car's extended warranty. I'm trying to reach you about your
Warranty.
car's extended warranty. You crazy, Casey. So what's the longest amount of time you've had to hold your pee at school?
All day.
All day? From like 7 a.m. to 3:45?
Yeah.
Damn.
It would have been.
Jeez.
It would have been like 7:30 to.
Casey! that
It
was
would have been like 7:35 to like 2:55. But yeah, I've had to. Now that was in my younger days.
Yeah.
Now,
She had
If I
that
laugh
young
wrong,
bladder.
it's
now, right before first period, at lunch, right after last period, 3 times.
It's like your bladder forgets about it, like after,
It
because you
really
think you have
does.
to go. Because I heard somebody say one time, like, even when you feel like your bladder is full, it's only like 70% full or something. And I was like, that don't sound right because I'm about to pee on myself. But I've had to hold it. I've held it from 10:30 to 4 o'clock, like consistently this year.
See, and here's a big problem with you know, we talking about our bladders being full and all that stuff.
Like
So
Casey's about to say
this has been my biggest issue, even with teaching, and even outside of teaching, right? And you know, we've been doing the whole health kick, so everybody's been trying to drink a gallon of water.
Who's doing that?
Just because you're supposed to have a certain water intake, so we're trying to drink as much water as we can throughout our day. But it's hard when you're teaching because you have to pee.
Yeah, so
a lot.
I'm not drinking.
So watch this. So I thought, well, now that I'm not teaching, it's going to be even better. Yeah. No. Because now I'm still trying to drink. I can't drink the water that I want to drink because we're on the tour van.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to make everybody mad having to pee every, you know what I'm saying, hour
Yeah.
as we're traveling.
But
So
then I'm always secretly hoping you ask.
Because why can I hold it at school, but when we're on tour, I cannot
Right.
hold it. I'm like, it'd be like an hour into the drive, and I'm like,
man,
hey, I
I
feel bad.
I text the tour manager, can we pull over and let me use the bathroom?
I feel bad. Like, why does it feel like, I don't know, maybe your bladder's different when you're standing up as
Yeah.
opposed to sitting down or something like that.
Well, and let me
So I
clarify
always
that
have to
that
go.
all day thing only happened like once or twice. That was
be.
not the usual. That was just like busy day meetings, every prep meeting during lunch.
Mine isn't even that, like, because if I texted and said, hey, I need somebody to come so I can go to the bathroom, but I genuinely, sometimes I'm like so busy like teaching, I forget to go to the bathroom.
That
and I was
is
like,
true.
I was like, you don't. The first time I heard somebody say that, I was like, you don't forget to go to the bathroom. And I'm like,
You
bro,
do.
I'm like, what? I hadn't peed since 10:30 this morning.
I taught
KC,
the hell out of that lesson today. Uh-oh, wait a minute, gotta go pee.
stand you.
Oh my gosh.
I can't.
But
As
no,
somebody who feels like they have a tiny bladder and always has to pee on road trips, I'm like, why can I hold it at school? But on the road
hard.
trip, like an hour in, I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
I think once you're rocking with your day, you just kind of forget.
What about the teachers what about the one on here that says teachers don't know everything? Because the amount of stuff I Google during class, I'm like, hey,
Don't,
That's
and
true,
I'm
man.
very honest about it.
I am too.
And it's kind of fun to like, I'll tell a kid like, I don't have that knowledge. If you could look that up for me, I'd appreciate it. And then give them credit in front of the class.
Yeah,
like,
I appreciate
They did an
you.
awesome
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with just admitting you don't know something.
Wait, but here's the question though. Have you ever had a student correct you on a mistake?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I say thank you.
One
said
of my
thank
students
you?
was like, Miss Richardson, you spelled onomatopoeia wrong. I was like, hey, that's a hard word to spell. I was like, you go up there and spell it then.
I don't know. I'm prideful. I act like I did it on purpose. I was just saying if you was gonna catch it.
No,
Good job.
Great job.
I'm a person too. I made a mistake. Thanks
I
for
know.
letting me know.
I was like, of all the things, of
My
all the
ego
words.
won't allow me to do it.
Now I want to know what you would have said to that kid when he said, Mr. Mack, you spelled onomatopoeia wrong.
I was trying to spell octopus. You spelled that wrong too. Damn. Go to the office.
Get out of my room. Get out of my room. It's insubordinate.
Start banging, making noises because it's onomatopoeia.
I wish they knew that they didn't pay our salaries. Can we
That is such a huge
can we put
misconception.
that one out there? Can we just say that?
And I wonder why. That's why I'm like thinking they don't understand math, because it's the same people that think we
Right.
get paid over summers.
Right.
Same people that think their taxes pay our salary.
Right.
I pay taxes too. So does that mean my taxes pay your
Right.
salary?
Right. Because if that means I'm paying my own salary, because if
Yeah.
I'm paying my own salary, I'm about to give myself a raise.
Well, like, do you go to City Hall and boss people around? Do you boss the sanitation
be
workers
talking to the
around?
mailman crazy.
Yeah.
Be talking to the mailman crazy. You gonna put your mail in your neighbor box on purpose. Talk to the Amazon driver crazy.
Yeah, this idea that someone has authority over me because they pay taxes for services. That's,
But where
that
did
is
that
wild
come
to me.
from, though? Like, I don't. Some of the logic, I'm like, maybe it just is. It's an irrational thought, so it has no logic. But I'm like, why? Where did you get that from? Your mama told you that, didn't she? Your mama's mama told you that. Your grandmama, auntie, uncle, brother, cousin, sister told you that.
If I live and teach in the same district, I guess I'm my own boss.
Period.
Right.
Paying taxes.
Period. I pay my own salary. Another thing though is I think people need to know we don't have an endless amount of supplies. Like, I don't mind like providing pencils and paper because that's something my kids can't go
Hold on,
without.
Billy. I'm sorry. They are endless if we purchase them out of our own pocket.
Right. Because that's what we're doing. Like, we buy pencil, paper. Because you can't have a kid that doesn't have a pencil.
Right.
Doesn't have paper. So it's like, and it's kind of one of those things that like, who do you go talk to? Like,
Right.
Because all of us as teachers do it. Now, I guess there's some schools where like you can go say like, hey, I need pencils or I need paper. But for some schools, it's one of those things where it's like, you go buy it. And I'm not saying that's right, but what I'm saying is, as a teacher, it's like, do you want to fight against a kid not having a paper or pencil, or like, because I think a lot of teachers just get it themselves, and that's not right. But we don't have an endless amount of supplies, tissue, Kleenex, hand sanitizer, like that kind of stuff. A lot of teachers pay for that stuff out of their own pockets.
Right.
Right. That's what I'm saying, which is why, like, so it could be endless if you have a teacher that makes a good amount of money that
Right.
can be able to support that.
But most teachers
doesn't,
don't.
exactly.
Yeah, and it's like you. So the fact that a lot of teachers are having to like budget in stuff for their classroom when they already don't make that much money because they care about their students and they want them to have supplies. I mean, half your class wouldn't have a pencil or
Right.
paper if you didn't provide it.
Correct.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. How do you feel about, because I know there's a lot of parents out there that when they see the school supply list and they're like, oh, you're having me not only buy supplies for my kids, but other kids who can't get or afford supplies, right? So do you guys see that? Like, do you see teachers actually putting extra supplies on there just in case they can have extra to pass out to those who don't have it? Or?
Especially kindergarten, like with Peyton being in kindergarten, like I know that like Kleenex and hand sanitizer, that kind of stuff is something that they go through it fast. So I can understand from being a parent, I can understand from the parent's perspective and from the teacher's perspective. From the parent's perspective, if you have like multiple kids and you already don't have a lot of money, you're providing supplies for kids in different grades. And then from the teacher's perspective, is like the kids go through, especially the little kids, like other than like the middle school is trying to use your hand sanitizer to clean their Air Force Ones. But I was like, boy, if you don't put my hand sanitizer down. But for the little kids, like, it's just one of those things where it's like we get the supplies because we don't want the kids to go without. Like, I mean, can you imagine if like for a week, maybe it needs to be an experiment. For a week, you didn't provide any supplies to your kids. If you are a state tested subject, your test score's going down. Your kids not, because they ain't got a pencil, they ain't got paper. Like and so it's one of those things where it's like a catch-22. Like, you could be like, I ain't buying none of this stuff because y'all need to buy it. But who is the y'all? They ain't going to buy it.
Right.
You be waiting until the Stone Ages come back for them to buy it. You be waiting until Jesus come down off the mountain for them to pay for it. Like, they're not going to buy it, and it's a sad reality, and it's not fair because teachers already don't make that much money. There are teachers that are stressed to the max that they can't pay their bills and they're having to provide supplies for their kids. It's not fair. It's not fair. And it's like there's nobody to talk. Who is going to fix it? There's nobody. And so it's almost one of those things that's like, oh, it's out of sight, out of mind. Because they're like, well, if they're going to pay for it, I'm not paying for it. Right. But imagine how y'all going to be mad about them test scores when I ain't providing paper and, a teacher says, I'm not providing paper and pencils because I don't have any money.
Right.
Anyway.
And I think too, like, people don't fully think about anything that's extra in that classroom, anything that's aesthetically pleasing, anything that's motivating, anything that's fun, fidgets, rewards.
Yeah. And when some teachers do the flexible
anything,
seating thing, yeah.
That's all purchased by the teacher. And those classroom decorations, motivators, things like that, hundreds of dollars a year.
Yeah, and I mean, I know we get like a lot of teachers get like an EFF card, but sometimes like your EFF card, like if school starts in August, you might not get your EFF card till the middle of September. Your kids need supplies in August.
I've actually never heard of this. What is this?
It's I don't know how to explain it. I don't even know what EFF stands for, but it's the money the district gives you to get supplies for your kids, but it literally lasts you for like the first 2 months of school.
I've never heard of that.
And then after that, like you pay for it yourself,
right?
Because I guess maybe in their mind, like government wise, like they feel like they've tried to do something because you get the EFF card for supplies, but it's like realistically this literally runs out, like, and it doesn't come. Some people literally don't get theirs until the middle of September. Their kids have been there for 6 weeks. They start school at the beginning of August. So I don't know if they do this everywhere. Maybe y'all didn't get a card with money to pay for supplies.
No.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a Mississippi thing, but we get money, and it's not a lot of money. Like it literally, you can buy like one set of supplies, and then because how the kids, like, they forget pencils on the floor and they run out of a classroom and they're like, I forgot my pencil, and then I left my pencil at gym. Like it's just not a hill that a lot of us as teachers are willing to die on. We're like, and it's not right. We shouldn't have to do this, but it's like, well, fine, I'll just buy some pencils.
I thought EFF stood for endless free folders. That's what I thought. That's what
that would be wonderful.
That would be wonderful.
I would love that.
That would be wonderful. Endless free folders. I'm going to start saying that from now on. Endless free folders.
I was set up here for the longest, like, what is the F word that I can finish this acronym on?
Casey's like, I'm 10 for 10.
We love a good folder.
Almost just said French fries, just to say, but I was like, nope, can't use
Endless
that.
free French fries. You added an extra F.
Here's a good one. Teachers are not superheroes. They need support.
Yeah.
Why would we even have to? Why is this even a misconception? Do you really think we are superheroes to the point
We
where
don't want to be no superheroes.
We're tired.
Come on, man.
We're tired.
Superheroes are inhuman, and I am not inhuman.
Right.
They got special powers.
Yeah.
More like mutants. We kind of done mutated at this point.
I mean, we've mutated, or the kids have mutated?
We have. The conditions have mutated us.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I think that sentiment is kind of a way to push more onto teachers, right?
Yeah.
And
somebody probably said that at a professional development and felt like they sounded really
Right.
cool.
Right.
And now it's like a thing.
Right.
And I'm like, no.
Okay. Okay. Let's just say this then. Okay. Let's just say we want to go on that narrative that teachers are superheroes. Well, every superhero has a weakness. Superman has kryptonite. What is our kryptonite then? If we're the superheroes, there's something that happens in our day to day that just takes our powers away.
All of it.
cell phone
All of
use.
it.
Cell phones.
All of it. All of it.
I'm becoming weaker and weaker.
All of it.
Not listening. Oh.
Man.
Parents that think they pay our salaries.
You okay?
It's my kryptonite. And there you have it.
That was really funny. The head bobbling just be taking me out.
I was shrinking. Another wonderful episode, man. Definitely going down. Teachers Off Duty podcast. You already know it's your man KC Mack with.
It's Liz Blanc. Follow me at ITSLIZBLANC.
You can follow me, Honest Teacher Vibes, on all social media platforms.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Since they're in the following mood, make sure you guys follow the podcast, Teachers Off Duty Podcast. Make sure you follow the Board Teachers Comedy Tour page. Make sure you follow Board Teachers on all platforms. Make sure you guys tap in with the Supercast. That's definitely going down. All that beautiful content that you guys don't get to see. You can watch that on Supercast. And again, remember, tap in with the Board Teachers Comedy Tour. That's right. We're going to be 2024. We're giving you more. Roar. We got some great states coming up. We're going to be in Maine, Massachusetts, Texas, Florida, Vermont, upstate New York, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Idaho, Utah, Kentucky, Colorado, Illinois, California, Iowa, Wisconsin, Wyoming, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Make sure you get them tickets. You don't want to miss it. And I'll see you guys next week. We got one more.
Yeah.
The time I'm melting.
My two besties from the Midwesties. All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye, best friends.
Bye.